Good evening. Bonsoir. Good evening. Kombaba. Welcome to the 42nd ceremony for the awarding of the Pritzker Architecture Prize. A special welcome this evening to our honored guests, the Honorable Frank Reiser, Minister of Culture, the Honorable Masako Kitera, Japanese Ambassador to France, the Honorable Françoise de Mercier, Mayor of Versailles, His Highness Prince Amin Aga Khan. The Pritzker Architecture Prize has come a long way since it was founded in 1979 by Jay and Cindy Pritzker. From this magnificent setting here in the Orangery of Versailles, we send our warmest wishes to Mrs. Cindy Pritzker in Chicago, while at the same time we thank Tom and Margot Pritzker for their constant, generous, and visionary support of the prize. Throughout the history, the Pritzker Prize has always espoused the same goals: to honor architects who, through their built work, have exhibited the highest standards of the art of architecture and pursued consistent service to humanity. Tonight, we recognize Arata Isozaki as the newest laureate. He joins a community of outstanding professionals, some of whom are with us tonight. Dear laureates, I will call your names. Please stand, but I ask the public to hold your applause until all the laureates present are named. Christian de Portzenbarg, 1994. Raphael Moneo. Christian, please stand. Raphael Moneo, 1996. Renzo Piano, 1998. Rem Koolhaus, 2000. Jean Nouvel, 2008. Kazuyo Sejima and Ruye Nishizawa, 2010. Wang Shu, 2012. Shigeru Ban, 2014. Rafael Aranda, Karma Pijem, and Ramon Villalta, 2017. Thank you. In speaking with Arata Isozaki, he reminded me that he was in the early conversations about the founding of the prize and served on the first jury in 1979. He also told me that architecture must always evolve and change in response to the times, and how different things are today than in the past. Isozaki reflects the true values of the laureate, who, throughout his career, was on a journey to understand the role of the architect, always probing and deeply questioning the meaning of architecture, and then seeking to put his ideas into practice through his many and remarkable works. The Pritzker Architecture Prize has evolved over the years and continues to honor those professionals who approach architecture from many different perspectives, but who all share their love for the discipline and are on their quest to make the highest quality architecture that is also relevant and meaningful for society. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, and now may I ask the chair of the jury, Justice Stephen Breyer, to come to the platform.
Monsieur le ministre, Monsieur l'ambassadeur, Votre Altesse, Monsieur le maire, et invités distingués, et tous les invités ici sont bien distingués. Votre présence ici, aujourd'hui, honore le Pritzker Prize. Don't worry, a lot will be in English. Mais il honore le Pritzker Prize, offerte cette année à Arata Isozaki, et aussi, elle honore la discipline de l'architecture elle-même, ou, pour dire les mots du poète, tu pourras y reconnaître l'idéal de la beauté qu'en ce monde j'adore. Le palais de Versailles, où nous nous trouvons, fut d'abord la demeure d'une seule famille, une famille royale, mais aujourd'hui, elle appartient à chaque Française et à chaque Français, voire au monde entier. Témoignant de toute la beauté dont l'homme est capable et de sa dignité. Peut-être en avons-nous plus conscience aujourd'hui en raison de l'incendie de la grande cathédrale de Notre-Dame qui a ému le monde entier. Quand j'ai vu ce drame avec des milliards d'autres en France, mais aussi à San Francisco, à Washington, au Mexique, partout dans le monde, ces flammes qui consumaient le toit de Notre-Dame, j'ai songé à la fragilité de ce que nous créons. Je n'osais imaginer une destruction totale de Notre-Dame, redoutant le vide qu'elle aurait laissé. Il y aurait certainement un vide au centre de Paris, mais aussi un grand vide dans le monde. Mais quand j'entends le président de la République publiquement dire, d'ici à 5 ans, peut-être un peu plus, mais pas beaucoup, d'ici à 5 ans, on va reconstruire la cathédrale, j'ai senti l'espoir renaître en moi, reconnaissant cette merveilleuse qualité de l'être humain à se remettre au travail et reconstruire ce qui semble être perdu. So, invités, guests, it is fitting for all of us here today to recall Notre Dame as we award the Pritzker Prize for Architecture. Now, many great architects are here with us today. I'm not a judge. I'm an architect. I didn't say I'm not a judge. I am a judge. I'm not an architect. Don't tell my colleagues I said I was not a judge. I'm absolutely a judge. So I, like the rest of us, simply consume what the architects produce. And just what is that? Well, putting the matter in its most basic terms, we all are surrounded by sound, by color, by light, by design. Now that sound can be cacophony, a banging car door, or it can be Louis Armstrong or Chopin. We can spend our time looking at blank alley walls, or we can choose to look at gardens like those filled with Monet's water lilies or those outside this room that we've seen this evening. We know we can choose to design our public spaces as well as our shops, our apartments, our houses, with beauty, as well as utility in mind. And just as we breathe clean air every day, noticing only when it is gone, so we can live with a well-designed built environment, noticing only when it is missing. Whether good or bad, Architecture shapes our lives. That is why Churchill said that we shape our buildings and our buildings then shape us. Those who created the Pritzker Prize, the Pritzker family, understood that fact. They sought to call attention to good architecture, and although the audience at which they initially aimed may once have been primarily American and Western European, today it is worldwide. That audience also stretches well beyond the architectural community, and that is how it should be. The object actually was said quite well by a judge, a well-known judge in the United States, maybe the most famous, Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr., maybe our greatest jurist. There was a case in which the court majority held that the state of New York could not regulate the price of theater tickets because the majority said the theater is not a public necessity, it was superfluous. Well, said Holmes, in dissent, we have not that great love of art that is the glory of France, but for some, and he means really for all, the superfluous is the necessary. He means that art, beauty, dignity, good architecture, too, are never superfluous. That is a message that the prize hopes to transmit. Today, one great problem that architecture faces lies in the fact that in not too many years, if I have the number right, 5 billion people will live in cities, and where and how will they live? A related problem lies in the fact that the world is increasingly both local and international in nature. Technology, including the materials with which architects work, travel, instant communication, immigration, environment, all have led to greater interdependence among nations and among cultures. Architects and judges and lawyers too, and many others, must take the fact of international, including interdependence, into account when they work in their professions. They cannot choose to work, however, only with the international, while ignoring that which is local, including local history, local environment, and local culture. They cannot remain totally local in style without ignoring the nature of the world in which we now live. In politics, the local and the international are often seen as two forces at war with each other. But for the rest of us, who are judges, lawyers, architects, and in other professions, they are simply two features, the local and the international. They are simply two features of the modern world that, in our professional work, we must take into account. Now, no one understood this fact earlier, nor better, than the man to whom we award the Pritzker Prize today, Arata Isozaki. Now, I will tell you the people who awarded it to him. I guess I'm one. But I'd like the jurors to stand up as I call their names. This was the jury, Andre Corio de Lago. And hold your applause until they finish, please. Kazuyo Sejima, Ratan Tata, Benedetta Tagliabue, Wang Shu, and Richard Rogers, who could not be with us today. Well, that was the jury that awarded unanimously the Pritzker Prize to Arata Isozaki. Now, I'll say a word about him. He was born and he studied and had developed his architectural practice in Japan. But in the 1960s, he became a pioneer in forging a strong relation with the West. That relation drew upon architectural styles that were in part international, without sacrificing that which is Japanese. His pioneering effort sought to combine the two. He continuously looked for new ways to combine the local, originating in Japan, with the international, reflecting, as I said, the international nature of today's societies. He produced his own work, and at the same time, and with the greatest generosity, he served as a teacher, as a mentor for younger architects. And all the while, as he created his architecture, within the framework of different styles, he maintained the qualities of excellence. Our Pritzker Prize jury, made up of architects, of critics, and laypersons, like myself and Ratan Tata, unanimously chose Arata Isozaki to receive the prize this year, and I'd like to read just a few of the words in the citation. Over the more than 50 years Arata Isozaki has been practicing, he has had an impact on world architecture through his works, writings, exhibitions, the organization of important conferences, and participation in competition juries. He has supported many young architects from across the globe to have a chance to realize their potential. Isozaki's work has been described as heterogeneous and encompasses descriptions from vernacular to high-tech. What is patently clear is that he has not been following trends, but has been forging his own path. He is one of the most influential figures in contemporary world architecture, on a constant search, not afraid to change or to try new ideas. His architecture rests on profound understanding not only of architecture, but also of philosophy, history, theory, and culture. He has brought together East and West, not through mimicry or as a collage, but through the forging of new paths. He has set an example of generosity as he supports other architects and encourages them in competitions or through collaborative works. For all these reasons, the Pritzker Architecture Prize jury has selected Arata Isozaki, the 2019 laureate.